In this video, I built this app called Outbound. It basically replaces Instantly. If you don't know what Instantly is, it's the cold email outreach platform which most agencies will use to get clients. It allows them to reach out to thousands of people via cold email to try and land clients. This app that I've built in Claude in 15 minutes scrapes the leads for you. If we come up here to scrape leads, we can put in their job title, country, any other filters that we want, and it's going to automatically scrape them and put them into this table as you can see here. After we have them here in our dashboard, we can select which type of leads we want to go into a sequence. If we have 5,000, if we have 50 leads, for this one, let's just select all of these leads and add them to a batch. So we can click down here, add to batch, and we can give this batch a name. We can choose an existing batch, like let's say orthodontists in Texas, and we can add them to that batch. When we jump over here to our batches, you can see we have our Texas orthodontist here, and we have all of the leads within this. We can now press start the sequence. A sequence is the amount of emails we're going to send them. So you can see here the sequence orthodontist, and you can see I have this set up to send them an email on day 0 and then an email on day 4. We can add an extra step, and we can add as many steps as we want. So let's say we want to send them 5 emails in 1 week, then we can do so. We can add stuff in here like, hey, first name. We can add in our calendar link. And you can see the preview of the email of what it's going to look like over here. So this one is helping ortho practices book more consultations. Hi Theo, I help orthodontists in Texas set up automated email, and so on. We can select the days we wanted to send, the time we wanted to send, the time zones, how many emails we want to send every single day, and that's going to allow us to basically operate as Instantly. Instantly is going to cost you a couple of hundred every single month. This is completely free with Claude Code. Over here we have the inbox, so whenever somebody replies, as you can see, Avery Castillo over here replied, and you can see the AI has detected this person as interested. If we come in here, you can see the email we sent. Hi Avery, I came across Bright Dental and had a quick question, so on. Avery responds back with, hi, funny timing, we were just looking into this last week. And then you can see the AI has drafted a reply which says, hi Avery, great to hear, Thursday afternoon worked perfect for me. Sends over the calendar link. I can now just press send reply over here, and it's going to send a reply to that person. This app can send hundreds of emails every single day for you. I'm going to show you how we can set this up in 15 minutes on Claude Code, so you can, by the end of this video, have this set up for yourself so you can start sending hundreds of emails to the leads of your choice. Alright, so to start, we need to know how the hell do we build this entire app. Well, it's a lot easier than it looks, and I've made it so easy to the point where it's just one prompt. You can see over here I've created a prompt that you're going to give to Claude Code, and it's going to build out this entire app for you. Obviously we need to grab some credentials before it builds it. So you can see here is the entire prompt. It's a couple of pages long. Tells Claude Code exactly what we want to build and how I built it. So when you paste it in, it's going to do all of the work for you. All we need to get right now is these tokens right here. We need an Apify token, which is going to scrape the leads for us. We need a Gmail address and a Gmail app password, so we can send emails to the leads from our account or from a demo account or a second account that you have set up, so you're not damaging your main account. We have an entropic key, which is going to do that work in the inbox, which allows us to get the sentiment of the response and to also draft a response, as you've seen in the intro. And then we have the calendar link, in which we can include in the email as a variable for people to say, hey, you can book in here. We drop in that cal variable, and then it's going to paste our calendar link into the email so the person can book a meeting right away. All right, let's jump over here and start working on the Apify token first. So if we come back over here to the app, you can see when I come up here to press scrape leads, it allows us to choose a job title. Let's say I wanted real estate agent in the United States. I can choose number of leads, 100, 1,000, 100,000, whatever you want. The minimum is 100 per run. If we come down here to more filters, we can choose an industry. So you can see here, this is a job title. This one is an industry. We can put in the department if we only wanted salespeople. We only wanted the founder, chairman, CEO, so like the decision makers. If we wanted company sizes, we can choose that. And when we press scrape, it's going to trigger an Apify scraper. When the scraper finishes, then it's going to pop up over here, as you can see here, a bunch of emails of the people that it has just scraped. So to get your Apify token that we need for the prompt, so you can see here we need an Apify token. It gives you a URL of exactly where to go to. It's going to take you over here to apify.com. Now apify.com gives you $5 worth of free credits every single month, so you can see down here, and that's more than enough to scrape a couple of hundred leads. When we're over here, we need to come down here to where it says settings and come over here to where it says API and integrations, and this is all we need from this app. So we just sign in, create an account if you don't have one, come down to the settings, API and integrations, copy this, bring it over here, and then we can drop it in here. Let's say this is the code here. Now to explain a bit more of how this actually works, if we come over here to the Apify store, you can see it's basically just a marketplace of scrapers. If we come over here, we look up lead scraper, you can see it's going to give us a range of different actors, which is just scrapers, that are going to scrape leads for us. For us, we're going to use this first one here by Peaky Dev, and it's a lead scraper which it costs $1 per 1,000 leads, which is pretty good. Now what the app does is it uses the API token that we've just given it to come over here to Apify and trigger this scraper, in which you can find people based on their name, based on their job title, employee size, person location, industry keywords, etc. We've basically just put that over onto the dashboard so we can trigger it over here when we press scrape leads. So I'm going to trigger it now. We're looking for real estate agents in the United States. Let's get rid of these. We don't really mind any of these. And when I press scrape, you can see now it has started to scrape. So it's running. Leads so far is 0. And if we come over here to the scraper, you can see now if we come over to the run section, our app has just triggered the scraper now. It's scraping pages. It's going to find all of the leads for us. And after it's done, it's going to present the leads over here in this table. Okay, so now that we come back over here to the app, you can see we now have 115 total leads. 108 of them are new, 2 in sequence, 5 replied. So they're the ones we already had in. We now have 100 new leads. So you can see here, header at first in real estate services. And we have a bunch of real estate agents, as you can see here, which is exactly what we were looking for. That's the Apify scraper done, and basically the hardest part done. You can now obviously do what we did in the start of this video and add them to a batch, which we'll do later in this video. But for now, let's finish off building this app. So we have our Apify token that's going to scrape leads. The next thing we need is your email address, which is basically the email address that we're going to send the emails from. Now, I'd advise you not to use your main email account, because as you're sending cold emails, a lot of people are going to dislike that and mark you as spam. If they mark you as spam, then it's going to give your email account a bad reputation. You don't want that for your main account, because that's what you use for business. So typically set up a second email account or multiple email accounts so you can send quite a few emails and use that as your email address. Then over here to get your email app password, you're going to see, as you can see here, it gives you a link of where you want to go to. When you go to that link, it's going to take you to a page like this. Now this has to be signed in on that email account that I've just mentioned, so on that second email account. When you come over here to the page that it takes you to, you're going to come down here to where it says two-step verification, and in here, after you click two-step verification, you're going to come down here to where it says app passwords. In here, you're going to click in here, give your app a name, so we can call it as Claude Code email agent, or whatever you want to call it. You're going to press create, and you can see it gives you your app password for your device. You're going to copy that, bring it over here. So it's going to look something like this, and that's what we need for that. Now the next thing we need is our Anthropic key. Anthropic is obviously the leading AI model right now. It's the best at writing emails, it's best at responding to leads. It sounds the most realistic, so we're going to use that one. In order to do that, again, we have the link, direct link, so we can just go to this link right here. When we land over here, we're going to scroll down here to the end where it says API keys. Come up here, press create API key, give it a name, whatever name, Claude Code, and then we have that API key. And then for your Calendly link or whatever booking system you use, Calendly, fill out forms, Google Calendar, you just drop your link in here, and then that's basically all we have to do. We can press Control All and select all of this, press copy, and now we are going to start building it on Claude Code. Now to use Claude Code, so I use Google Anti-Gravity. If we click into here, then you can press download for Mac OS. When you download it, then you can open it, and then you can see I have this small window right here where it's open. Now to have Claude Code enabled on this, you can come up here, search up Claude, and you can see you have Claude here. You can press install like the rest of these have. I already have it installed. And then when you press install, it will open something like this. And to use Claude Code, we're just going to click this little button up here, which is open. When we click that, then we're open, we're ready to start using it. Now I'm going to close this by clicking this little X here. We're going to click up here to the file explorer, and now we're ready to paste in that prompt. So I'm going to paste in that prompt, but before we send that off, we have to open a folder on our computer in order to store all of the code that Claude Code is about to output. So I'm going to press open folder over here, and then you can open a folder anywhere on your computer. If it's in the downloads, the document section, just open a folder, give it a name, maybe a cold email Claude Code, and then just press open. For me, I'm going to open a random folder here, Claude Code email, press create and open that folder. And now you can see we have this Claude Code open, and also that new folder that we've just opened. So we can paste in that prompt, and now we can send that off. All right, so after you paste that prompt, into Claude Code, it's going to come back to you with a couple of questions. I'm going to save you the length of this video by not going through all of them questions, but it's basically just going to come back to you with a few questions to make sure this is actually what you want to build. It's not going to be anything technical. If it does come back with anything technical, most of the time just say yes, or just say, I don't understand this, can you explain it in plain English? But when we put that prompt in, that's basically all of the instructions that it needs. You can see when we scroll down here, it's going to do all of the coding. On the left hand side, you'll see all of these files starting to pop up. And as we scroll to the end, then it should finish off that app for us. It's going to tell you that the app is built. This is some other changes that I've made, but when it comes up at the end and it tells you the app is built, you may need to run npm something. You can just say, can you run this app for me? As simple as that. You give it that one prompt, maybe answer a couple of questions, let it run through, create all of these files on the left hand side, and when you say, can you run this app for me, it's going to spin it up on your local server, so on your computer, and not on like a web app, or not on like something that can be accessed by anybody. It literally can only be accessed by your computer. And it's now starting the dev server. As you can see here, it says the app is now running at localhost, so I can click this, and if we jump over here now, you can see I have all of them leads that I have just set up. Now, how does this actually work in practice, right? We've built the app. Now, how does it work? Well, we've just scraped a bunch of real estate leads. So let's set up a sequence to send them, all of them real estate agents, a couple of emails. So I'm going to select all of these up here. These seem like all real estate agents. I'm going to press add to batch, as you can see down here. Now, because this is AI, it may not look exactly like this. Maybe your add to batch might be up here. It's AI at the end of the day. We can't control the output. It's non-deterministic. So it could be anywhere realistically, but it will have the general idea. So when I press add to batch now, you can see we can add it to an existing batch that we already have, or we can create a new one. Let's create a new one. Let's call it real estate agents, and press create and add. And now you can see when we jump over here to batches, it has created this batch of email agents in which we can start a sequence. So we can pick a sequence that's already running, or we can create a new sequence. So let's come over here to the sequences section. Let's press new sequence. And over here is where we're going to start. So the service that we're going to sell as a demo in this is we're going to sell email agents, basically this app right here where we send out cold emails to maybe our leads or whatnot. So we can do something like this where we write this ourselves, or we can come back out here to Claude Code, and I can say something like, I have a batch set up which is real estate agents. I now want to create a sequence for them, and I want it to be, let's say, 3 to 4 emails, maybe split them up a day or 2 days between each of them. And I want you to send an email to these real estate agents promoting our service, where we reach out to all of their dead leads with cold email. Make sure it's obviously not too long. It sounds human. I don't want you to use M dashes. I don't want you to use a bunch of AI sounding text. So just create that sequence for me, and then we can iterate from there. Make sure you push it to the actual dashboard. So I'm going to paste that in here, send that off. Now that's a good thing about Claude Code. Because we've used this Claude Code to build the app, we can now use it to actually do stuff on the app as well. Because it has so much context, it knows exactly how this app was built, it can essentially do anything for you. So over here, we could have went through here and built out this sequence ourselves, where we put the email and we put the subject, and we can put in the variables. As you can see, we have the available variables like first name, company, city, Calendly link, last name, job title, industry, which we get from all of these scraped leads. We could write this out ourselves, or we can just have Claude Code do it for us. As you can see over here, it has listed out the sequences and the batches, and it's now going to create the sequence for us. So it says found the draft sequence, the real estate agents batch, writing the script now. Alright, so Claude Code has finished that up now. It says it created the sequence. It has named it Dead Lead Revival Real Estate from the sequences page. There's 4 emails, day 0, day 2, and let's actually just go over. Alright, so here's the batches. So we have the real estate agents over here. If we jump over here to sequences now, let's jump in here. And you can see it has done all of this for us. So it's created the subject, your old emails. Hey, first name, quick question. How much of your CRM is just dead leads at this point? People who looked once, didn't buy, and now sit there doing nothing. I run a small service that runs cold emails back through those lists, pulls out those ones who are ready to talk now, even if they ghosted you over a year ago worth a 10-minute chat, has that variable as you can see here, which is the Calendly link. Then you can see step 2, 2 days later, it's going to send a follow-up, and then a follow-up again, and another follow-up again if they don't respond. We have the send-in window to be Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. American Chicago, daily cap 50. All sounds right, and we can see exactly what this lead looks like now. So we can go through all of these leads. Let's say we want to see what it looks like for Karen McWilliams. You can see hey Karen, quick question, how much of your CRM? Went to quick minute chat, and it turns that cal_link variable into the actual calendar link. All we have to do now is come up here, move this from draft to active, and all of those 100 leads that we just scraped, I'm going to start receiving emails on these days on all of those follow-ups as well. And then lastly, to finish off this video, if let's say Karen was to respond, then we would receive her reply over here like this, where we would have her reply here. The AI will have drafted a reply over here, which we can edit, or we can just press send reply. So this is one of the best things that you can do as an agency owner. You can either use Instantly, which will cost you a couple of hundred, or you can use this Claude Code build, which is completely free. The scraper is free. Maybe you have to pay for Claude Code, but that's very minimal in this day and age. I feel everybody should be using Claude Code. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you want to start your own AI agency, click the first link below. If you want to get the prompt that I use in this video, click the second link below. But that's going to be it for this video. Leave a like and subscribe. See you in the next one.